Bizarre Brain Comics. Yeehaw, partner. Yeehaw, partner. Howdy, this here's the Trigger Kid, and I'm here to tell you tales of the Wild West that never was. And I'm here for Bizarre Brain Comics. Okay, we're into the month of January now. And in just a few days will be the opening of the National Western Stock Show here in Denver, which is one of the largest stock shows in the country. And so we're going to be touching on some cowboy western goodness. And his will be from this time will be several western comics. We'll just take a little look at. Some Silver and Bronze Age, mostly Bronze Age, mostly Marvel. But here, what you see right here is Gold Key. So it's going to be Gold Key, Marvel, and little extra. And of course, we're starting off here with the Lone Ranger, and I've just looked at it, and I already forgot which one it was, which issue it is. This is issue number 26, Gold Key Comics, 1976. And I was actually surprised that this isn't all reprint material. I don't know who did the writing. Of course, this is a real rough copy here, but it's good for reading. Nice cover painting. Probably, I don't know. Probably George Wilson, could be Mo Golub, or one of the others who I'm less familiar with. And the interior art is Jose Delbo for both stories. While of course it is a Lone Ranger, this first story is primarily a Tonto story. The Lone Ranger is in it, but all the action revolves around Tonto, and he's the one who saves the day. And stuff. But it has two stories in there. Then we have from 1970 Gold Key Comics, Judge Colt. I think I have had one other issue of this. This is issue number 4. And this is also looks like Jose Delbo art. And I suspect that the main character's appearance was inspired by someone, an actor. I'm thinking, what's his name from? I can't think of his name. From The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. Those, and because he looks kind of like him, and all the very, very distinctive look in all the profiles of the Judge Colt character. I'm not sure. Could be. Sometimes it looks kind of like Gregory Peck, so I don't know. And I don't know how many issues there actually were. This, like I said, this is number 4. Great cover painting, explosive, boom. And it's I think it was one story for the entire issue, wasn't it? I think it was. No, 2. No, yeah, it is. One full-length story for the issue. Here we go to Charlton Comics, Billy the Kid, special Billy the Kid, all Severin art. And of course, their version of Billy the Kid was nothing like, of course, the historical Billy the Kid. And I think the comic ran for longer than the real Billy the Kid lived. And while not based on, I think it was probably at least partially inspired by the Billy the Kid movies starring Buster Crabbe from the late 40s and early 50s. But his great Severin art, and this is all reprint So even though this issue is from 1978, it's all reprint from about 1960, when Severin was doing Billy the Kid regularly for Charlton. And of course, so it's great stuff if it's John Severin doing just about anything, especially Western or war stuff. Okay, here we are with Marvel Western Team Up #1. This is what, 1972, I think it was. It's the Rawhide Kid and the Dakota Kid. First fast shooting issue. Ride the Lawless Land. I don't know how many issues, if any, this ran. This is the only one that I am familiar with off the top of my head. Interior art by, it was written and drawn by Larry Lieber, inked by Vince Colletta, who was doing basically inking everything at that time. This is great cover. It's Larry Lieber, but it looks like the faces were inked, or at least inked, if not actually drawn, by John Romita Sr. Just same as in the corner box. To Ride the Lawless Land. And he did the interior art. And this is introducing the character of the Dakota Kid. And I don't know if he ever appeared anywhere else after this. And then has a backup story, the Gunsmoke Kid. And the only reason I mention this is because of the artist. This is actually from a reprint from sometime in the 50s, but with the art by Jack Davis. Yeah, and it's some really cool stuff. Remember Jack Davis, EC Comics? He did all that great horror stuff for EC Comics, and then in the Mad Comics, and on into really got famous in Mad Magazine with all that humor stuff, which led into a bigger career doing all kinds of illustrations, movie poster illustrations, etc. And it does a great job here in that Western. And here is the Two-Gun Kid, the fastest gun alive, the gun slammer. Both my guns shot right out of my hands. I'm unarmed, hemmed in on every side. I don't need them to finish you off, kid, because I'm the gun slammer. Issue number 109 from 1972. Boom, gun slammer. Written by Larry Lieber with art by Dick Ayers. Of course, Dick Ayers was great, especially with the Westerns, and he did a great job here, with the Westerns and war comics. And he had a long career doing Westerns and stuff. Then, of course, later was doing some Scalp Hunter at DC. And George Tuska doing the art charge on the backup story, Showdown. And then have the Two-Gun Kid 123. Now it's 25 cents. The other one was 20 cents. Jack Kirby cover. See, that one wasn't. This is Jack Kirby cover. Western action as you like it. Trapped by Grizzly Grogan. And this is Stan Lee and Dick Ayers. But this is a reprint from about 10 years before. This issue is from 75. And remember, this is in the time when in the 70s, Western movies and TV shows were really, really popular, but starting to fade towards the latter part of the decade. And that was also reflected in the comics. There were several popular Western comic books, and a lot of them were reprints, like a lot of the Marvel Westerns were reprints, but not all of them. Like here, Reno Jones, Gunhawk, #7, A Gunhawk's Last Stand. This is it, hombre! And I think this is actually the last issue of, let's see. Yeah. I think this is the last issue because earlier it was Reno Jones and Kid Cassidy, the Gun Hawks. Then a couple issues before, the other character. This is Reno Jones, and the other character, his partner was killed. And then I think this is the only issue that actually called it Reno Jones Gunhawk, singular. 1973 Rodeo Boom Day, and this is splash page. This is a really great splash page. And of course, art by Dick Ayers. This is written by Gardner Fox, who that we know best from the Justice League and stuff. And of course, he in the '60s, when he left DC Comics, and he was doing a bunch of science fiction and sword and sorcery novels, and all through this period. And this is a real rarity because it is. I think it is the first regular mainstream Western comic book in the U.S. Starring the main character being a black character, if I remember correctly. So this is number 7, but it's in a way it's number 1. Then here we go to Kid Colt Outlaw. I got these next two. They're both stripped. They were supposed to have been destroyed, but it was stripped. The top part where the cover was torn off, sent back to get credit for it. So then they probably just tossed it out in the trash, or just gave it to neighborhood kids, what have you. So this is issue number 122 from 1965. And Jack Keller is our primary artist. He was a primary artist for Kid Colt, and I just loved his stuff. And then recently I started reading some Kid Colt with Werner Roth, which I'll cover in another time, and I really like his version of it too, featuring the villainy of Rattler Ruxton. Wait till you see what Danny Nesbitt looks like. I don't know. And here's a promo here for the MMMS wants you. That's the Mighty Marvel Marching Society. All right. And the same goes. This is 123. Like I said, stripped. And I think this is still Jack Keller. Yeah, still Jack Keller. Stanley Jack Keller. And Jack Keller, of course, was great. He doing all these westerns. He was good with the westerns, and he really liked doing, from what I understand, the Hot Rod comics, and he was doing that for some time at Charlton Comics, doing the Hot Rod comics, and that was because that's the stuff he really liked. And then later on in the 60s and 70s, he was doing a lot of inking at Marvel and at other places too, and less pencil work. Then there go to Kid Colt 185. The Kid Goes East. And this is 25 center. This is of course 74, but this is also a reprint from about 10 years before, as a Jack Keller main art and backup story, which of course they often had backup stories totally unrelated. Kill the Sheep Man. This is First Lieutenant Ted Rockwell, U.S. Army Reserve, born 1873, Wyoming, died 1899 in Wyoming. Has some really stylized, very Silver Age look to the artwork in this story, but it's still some nice draftsmanship. But it just has a very golden age look to it. For Kid Colt Outlaw. And then what we're going to finish up with is something completely different. It's still Western, though. Is DC Blue Ribbon presents Jonah Hex and Other Western Tales. Digest Comics. This is issue number 3 of this. So I've got another one of some of the Jonah Hex stuff. It's not, of course, it's not all Jonah Hex, but it does have, I think it was 300-page all-out Western action. But it is right by, we'll call it Blue Ribbon, because this goes back to the earliest days of Jonah Hex, of from the early 70s. So all the stories in here covers the 1970s, and of course at this time DC Comics was really doing some better Western stories than I think Marvel was doing, getting away from the more kiddie aspect of it, and getting more like the serious tone of the Western. A lot of the popular Western movies at the time. It was like, of course, Jonah Hex. This was early into his feature that was originally in All-Star Western, and then went to the title became Weird Western. And this would have been just a few issues in it, but it was a great story there. Then where is it? The second story is Outlaw. Outlaw was a short-lived feature, also in All-Star Western. They're hoping that he would be the star of All-Star Western, but he didn't last very long, and Jonah Hex took his place. And then we have, a Gil Kane story. Is that it? Not yet. That's still Outlaw. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Another Jonah Hex story. Another great one, and that's the one that was drawn by Doug Wildey, of course, who's known for his work Rio Western story that he graphic novels that he did, and of course best known for Johnny Quest. Then here's another Dick Ayers on Scalp Hunter. This is later in the 70s. So these are all just killer 70s Western stories, and it's a good thing something strong to end on for our Westerns here. So that's all I have to share with you this time around. So I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Whoops! Like, share, subscribe. Do leave your comments down below. Tell me how much you love Westerns. Oh! Bang, bang, shoot 'em ups. Quick draws. Pounding horses' hooves. Stampedes and barroom brawls. All that good stuff that Westerns are known for. And of course, all these Westerns are just as much fantasy as Savage Sword of Conan is. So let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments, and remember, comics are art.